Is this working? Oh my god, I can't type. Everyone. Howdy, partner. I see you. I see you. Oh my god, it's Holly Berry. Hey, Boo Thing. Hey, gorgeous. Isn't she beautiful? She's beautiful. She's so beautiful. Hello, guys. Welcome to the live. Happy Thursday. Nika here with your daily neuro nugget. Bear with me today because I do have to get to work relatively soon. So I'm going to be talking relatively quickly. Ah! Isn't this cute? It's my favorite mug. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, okay? It's fall. I am a fall baby. My birthday's coming up, guys, and you guys already spoiled me with this cute little mug. I'm so spoiled. Look at this. They're opening. They're orange for fall. And somebody just bought me, a stranger in the internet, guys, bought me a very expensive dress. They literally, it's so weird. I had just shared a reel on Instagram about this bright green emerald hippie dress that I was like, need this. And then today I'm like, somebody cash apped me $215. I don't think I've ever bought a piece of item that expensive. That's insane. And a stranger sent it to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, is it the lucky season for me? Like, what is going on? I feel so special. So thank you guys. It's crazy. I don't even know how to react. It's freaking crazy. Anyway, now that there's more of you guys in here, let's get started, shall we? Because there's a lot of strange things regarding, well, the survival of the survivors. We're using the term survivors here. It's a very loose term. It's a very loose term. I honestly prefer to just call them the roommates. But that's just me. Hello, my pal Sal. Hello, Sally. Hello, Lynette. Hi, Dawn. Oh, I think we'll just call them the roommates, right? Why in the world would Brian Koberger, why in the world did the assailant leave these two alive? It doesn't make any sense, right? This is something that is extremely bizarre. It's weird. It does not make any sense whatsoever. That is such a massive risk to be taking. Do you understand what that means? That is a massive risk. It's like, who would do that? Who in their right mind would do that, right? Because we know Bill Thompson, what did he tell us? Bill Thompson told us Brian Koberger did this crime. Brian Koberger, has a criminal psychology background. Hey, Greg. Hey, Bonnie. Thank you, Greg, for the beautiful comment. And he obviously did this to show his unaliving skills to the world. He wanted to get caught. If he wanted to get caught, you think he would have left touch DNA? Remember, touch DNA is not allowed in military courts. In my opinion, military courts, and of course I'm biased because I was prior military, but in my opinion, military courts are more legitimate, more strict, more by the book. And other courts in other parts of the world do not allow touch DNA. If Brian Koberger would have actually wanted to get caught, if he had actually committed this crime, there wouldn't be need to leave two surviving roommates. Oh, he left them to live, to tell the story of what actually took place. But it's funny because their stories are contradicting each other. right? So that's a massive risk that you'd be taking to leave Bethany and Dylan untouched, right? Because what would be going through the assailant's mind? They're not going to talk. They're not going to turn you in. It doesn't make sense, right? As to why he would leave two survivors. But the guilters always say, well, he was so tired. He was so tired after unaliving four people. Do you know what that does to a human? Do you know what unaliving four people does to a human? Do you know how much energy that takes out of a person? That's why, of course, he could only unalive four people. I'm sorry, but I have a K bar. I have a K bar, and I've shown it to you up close and personal. It's so big, right? It's so big. It's so big. And it doesn't matter how fit you are, how athletic you are. If you have ever used a K bar on anything or anyone or animals when you're hunting, I have been around a lot of people that hunt. And I have been around a lot of military personnel, including some Navy SEALs. Shanking a person 50 times, bro. 50 times, as Xana was, because she's a fucking hero. She's a fucking hero, right? She was defending the home, in my opinion. Xana, she's an angel, man. She's a fucking angel. And she's a beast, right? Like, amazing. To take 50 wounds means she was fighting. She was fighting for her life. And in my opinion, she was putting up a fight because she was trying to protect the home, right? And when you talk to a hunter or a Navy SEAL that has experience with using K bars and such, what do they tell you? They tell you that if you ever use a K bar to, for example, skin an animal that is already unalived, by the way, an animal that is already unalived, it takes a shit ton of work. And let me tell you, I don't know if you have met any Navy SEALs, they are fucking the top 1% fitness wise, right? And when you talk to hunters, a lot of hunters, I'm not talking about, they shoot from the garage or whatever. I'm talking about hunters who go to the wilderness and have to drag a 500-pound animal and cut it and bring back the meat to camp and whatever. That is life draining. It is so energy intensive to do that. It will wear you out. And here we are supposed to believe that shanked Xana 50 plus times. Kelly took another beating, carved Ethan, took out Maddie, and he just ran out of energy. We're supposed to believe that he unalived four people. Think, think a little bit, right? Just think for a second of your life. 50 stabbings, bro. He was so exhausted, Nika. He was so exhausted. He didn't have a choice. Bro, he had already allegedly unalived four people in this house, and there were two left. I'm pretty sure that he would have had the upper hand even if he was completely exhausted. Like, you can totally catch your breath for a split second and then go back to doing what you need to do. I mean, you already took four people out. By the way, these four people that he took out were not tiny, petite people. Oh my God, $5. Thank you, Too Fast for Fleas. Caffeinated. For sure. We'll be doing that with that $5 because I'm low on energy today. You already took four people out, bro. Ethan was no small man. He sure was not. Xana, a fucking fighter, a fucking angel, an athlete. He already took her out. Maddie, in my opinion, was the most petite, right? She seems very, very slim, very, very petite, very short. Kaylee looks like she could take a fight too. She's thick, she's sturdy. You have two left. You have two people left. Catch your breath, get in there with your K bar, and do what you need to do. And I'm not saying that that's what should have happened. I'm just saying that if Brian Koberger had actually committed this case, he wouldn't have let two people go. If you already took four people out in the house, you're probably already covered in red fluid from top to bottom, right? At some point, you would eventually be able to go and delete two more people. And again, I'm not trying to paint a horrible picture. I'm not saying that these two people should have been taken out. I'm just saying what you would not leave any witnesses, right? And we know that the person or people that committed this crime, they were not moving quickly. They were not rushing to get out of 1122 King Road. This person was not rushing through the crime. And yes, they have pushed this timeline that it was done from like 4 to 4:15 probably. Bro, we literally can hear Murphy in the camera. Other people have said they heard Murphy. If you missed yesterday's live, by the way, go watch that live because Adam said he heard Murphy barking for 45 minutes. Why didn't you go tell Jack, bro? That's your roommate. And you know he's the daddy of that dog. But you decided to not go tell the daddy of that dog that his baby boy Murphy was outside in the cold, barking for 45 minutes straight. We have heard Murphy barking for 45 minutes straight while the crime was happening, allegedly. How is that not alarming to the assailant or assailants? We know that dogs will often scare the intruders away, right? If somebody's breaking into your house at this very moment and they hear a dog barking, they're gonna be like, oh my God, let's leave. This is risky, let's go. Why? Because they don't know what type of dog is in there. They don't know if it's a pit bull or a golden doodle. They don't know. All an intruder would know is there's a dog in there. So this dog, we hear Murphy barking for 45 minutes, which makes me think that the person who broke into 1122 King Road and unalived these four people knew Murphy. This person that committed this crime, in my opinion, knew Murphy. Because how are you going to pick him up? How are you going to know what type of dog is behind the home? And then how are you going to put him outside for 45 minutes? And then how are you going to put him back inside the house post-crime? And on top of that, you also made sure that the dog didn't get covered in red fluid. This person that committed the crime knew Murphy, in my opinion. Who knew? Who knew Murphy? Who knew that inside of 1122 King Road was a cute little friendly golden doodle that wasn't going to harm them? If somebody is not rushing to commit this crime, guys, knowing damn well that there's two other people in the home, what does it start to look like? It starts to look like not only did they know Murphy, but maybe possibly also knew Dylan, maybe possibly also knew Bethany, right? They keep telling us this was committed in the span of 15 minutes, but then we pull up the images of Dylan at the house partying late. We see the timeline from the phones, and you know what's very strange to me? Where are the phone records of the victims? Those have not been released yet that I know of. Those have not been made public yet. I have a feeling that if we have full access to the records of the 4 victims, this is going to really paint a more honest picture of what took place on that horrible night, right? Because people love to say that, well, Brian Koberg, it was at 1122 King Road because of the cell tower. Although we know damn well, according to the statements made by Becca Barlow, that you can technically connect to a cell tower that is 60 plus miles away. And it has happened before, right? Because if the rest of the cell towers are full, it will bounce your signal off and connect it to the next closest tower. Well, how come we have not heard anything about the cell phones of the victims and when and where they pinged? What towers did they ping to and at what time? Because again, we have heard different things regarding the timeline, right? Dylan has said different things about the arrival of Xana and Ethan. Bethany has said other things. The legal documents say other things. When we put 2 and 2 together, when we look at all these pictures, it doesn't look like this crime was actually committed in that short of a time frame. It looks like there was no rush. It looks like the assailants took their sweet time doing what they needed to do and possibly still had time for a cleanup, right? That's what it's looking like. And then you have Murphy outside barking and barking constantly for 45 minutes, and you are not worried as an assailant that somebody's going to hear Murphy, that somebody's going to wonder, hey, look, the dog that lives at 1122 King Road is outside of the home barking for almost a whole effing hour straight. You're not worried that somebody's going to be alarmed by that? You just went on and took your sweet time regardless, right? And then you make eye contact as the assailant or assailants with Dylan. You make eye contact through your uh through your little mask. You make eye contact with one bushy eyebrow. What's up, Dylan? What's up, Dylan? How weird is that? You made eye contact with your eyes and your one bushy brow, bro, and you said, "Peace out, dude. Peace out." Well, that I added that, right? I was being facetious. He obviously didn't say peace out. I mean, maybe he did. I don't know. I wasn't there. The point is, he saw her, she saw him, and no one did anything about it. Oh, but it was so dark and they were frozen in shock. Well, now we know that's all BS. That was all BS. That was rammed down our throats. And we were forced to swallow that BS narrative, right? Right? Do you like that? Do you like that? You like being lied to? Gulp. Yeah, we're not stupid in this channel, right? We have some brain cells left. Thank goodness for all of us here. No one did anything. Put yourself in the shoes for a split second of the assailant. I think you could take 2 more people out, especially if you made eye contact with a female and you know she fucking looked at you, you know she saw you. How do we know that? Oh, because now we know that all the lights were actually turned on. We actually know they actually were awake and on social media and taking pictures and sharing pictures and calling people and texting people. And They were on their fucking this is disturbing. It just ugh. You were on Indeed? What were you doing? You were how are you frozen in shock if you're literally doing all this shit? You were not very frozen, babe. You were not very frozen. Did you thaw out for this? Did you thaw out to go to Indeed? And what were you doing on Indeed? Updating your resume? See how it doesn't make sense? And the lights were on. The lights were on when the assailant and Dylan made eye contact. You didn't see this man or whatever covered in red fluid? She was half thawed out, right? That's what I always have joked about, Ken. And that's right, Holly. Let's not forget, Dylan didn't recognize a photo of Brian, and his eyes are unforgettable. He definitely has very unforgettable eyes. And then when we analyze the legal documents, we know that the whole bushy eyebrow thing, that was not an original statement made by Dylan. That was put out there by law enforcement. And then Dylan was like, oh yeah, maybe he did have a bushy eyebrow. Maybe one. Well, how tall was he? I don't know. He was like kind of tall, but like kind of short. Okay. He was like kind of athletic, kind of like a basketball player, maybe. Girl, what are you talking about? A basketball player? I don't know, but the pictures I have seen of Mr. Brian Kohlberger definitely does not look like an athlete to me. To me, he doesn't. This is not body shaming, by the way. I'm just saying. Doesn't that's not the first thing I see when I see Brian. Not to say that he wasn't athletic, right? We know he liked jogging. But when I see Brian, I'm like, that's a basketball player for shizzle, for shizzle. That's not my first thought. My first thought is like, this is a man who likes to read books. And that's okay, because I look that way too, babe. I have that shape as well. It's okay. Also, where was Kaylee? Where was Kaylee between 2:50 and 4 in the morning? It matters. It matters. Why? Because nobody ever wants to talk about that. Where actually was she from 2:50 to 4? We know that she supposedly went upstairs and was allegedly getting ready for bed. And then she's not really mentioned after that in any of the documents. But everybody else is saying that everybody was upstairs in Kaylee's room. And this is supposedly at the same time where Maddie and Bethany took Murphy downstairs, took Murphy outside to go to the bathroom, right? But that doesn't really make sense, right? Because Dylan said she was home maybe like, I don't know, half an hour before, and that she had supposedly taken Murphy out like 30 minutes before. So why do you need to take him out again? I understand he's a puppy, right? But like Dylan says she had just taken Murphy outside. Which is weird because when we have seen the TikTok reels of Dylan and Murphy, we know she didn't like Murphy. We know she did not like Murphy at all. So why is she like getting Murphy and saying, "Oh yeah, I'm going to take him outside cuz he needs to go potty." Okay? From the TikTok reenactments. We all know you hate him. You hate him, girl. So why are you being all nice all of a sudden? Why are you being all nice all of a sudden and going out of your way, going upstairs to where Murphy was at, getting Murphy, taking him outside to go potty, but then the following day, he's out there barking for 45 minutes and you don't do a damn thing. Right? I mean, you knew Murphy was in the house. Both girls knew that Murphy was in the house, right? They both knew Murphy was in the house. Bethany did too. Let's not forget about Mrs. Bethany Funky. And I'm calling her Funky because something smells weird with Bethany, okay? Something smells a little funky with Bethany. It's like you both knew that Murphy was there. You both knew that Murphy was there. You're all trying to be, oh my God, let's take Murphy outside because he's so cute and he needs to go potty. Oh my God, oh my God. Let's go. Let's go, Murphy. Let's go take you outside. Come on, boy. We love you. We love you. But then you hear him barking for 45 minutes, and so does everybody else. In fact, Jack Decor's roommate hears Murphy outside, right? Nobody does anything. Interesting. Interesting. And even if they were concerned about the roommates, the four victims not picking up their phones or whatever, you wouldn't think to go and check on Murphy? Weird. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird, right? Because the night before you said you came from a party and you were drunk. That's what you said. That's what you said. And you still had energy, even though you were shit faced, to go take the doggy out. So why couldn't you do that the following day? Okay. Just something that I can't stop thinking about, right? And then there's this weird timeline thing that doesn't make sense to me because then we were told, well, Kaylee was getting ready for bed. She was getting ready for bed. She was getting ready for bed. But we also know that she was messaging Jack D. So why would you be getting ready for bed if you're supposedly asking him to come over? And then later, Dylan said that she heard, or and yeah, she heard Kaylee dancing at 4 in the morning. How are you getting ready for bed at 2, but you're dancing at 4? Just weird, right? And Dylan said she went to bed at 3:20 a.m. So what was going on upstairs? Did you hear Murphy? Did you hear Kaylee? What was going on? This is a time gap that, again, we don't know anything about Kaylee. This is why I think it is so important that the phone records of the victims are released. Hello, Blake. Hi. Welcome, welcome. You, me, kick me out? Who kicked you out? Tell me. I'll beat him up. Thank you so much. Ah! Thank you for the $5. What happened? You just made it? Welcome. It's okay if you're late. Who kicked you out? I for sure did not. I would never. I would never. Um, what's going on with Murphy? And then she said she was going to bed at 3:20 a.m. But girl, we know that's a damn lie, girl. We know that's a damn lie because weren't you adding contacts to your phone at 3:50? So what? You took like you slept for 30 minutes? Yes, Blake is so nice. He's amazing. He is the best. Blake, you missed the beginning where I was showing off the beautiful flowers that I bought with the money you gifted me. They are, oh my gosh, they're opening up so beautifully. So thank you again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just don't believe that anybody would leave a surviving witness, right? No one would ever leave a surviving witness. They wouldn't, especially if they made eye contact with them, okay? And then we can't forget that Dylan had reached out to Eric Gower, the private driver, to see if he was still driving because she said she wanted food. Why would you want food? You would want food because you're hungry, right? You would want food because you're hungry. So that means that by 12 p.m. the following day, you didn't eat anything? I mean, you were texting Eric way earlier in the morning, but by 12 you didn't eat anything? I mean, you would have been starving, right? You would have been starving by that point. And plus, Murphy would definitely need to pee within that time. So, at what point was Murphy taken out that night to use the bathroom? And we know he was barking for almost an hour. Oh, hello, Blake. Welcome. Says subscribers only in the chat. I'm confused. I've always had subscribers only in the chat. I thought you were I thought you were a subscriber. That's weird. Right? Yeah. It always is subscribers only. Yeah, if I would have kicked you out, you wouldn't have been able to comment on here. Right? When you're actually blocked, like if I block you, you would be blocked. Like you wouldn't be able to donate or you wouldn't be visible in the chat. So no. Maybe there's something with YouTube. I know a lot of people have been saying their things have been getting deleted. So that's weird, but thank you. I do appreciate the other 199. Thank you so much. And I typically don't block people, right? Again, if you were actually blocked, we wouldn't be able to see you here. I typically don't block people, even if they disagree. I block people if they're being disrespectful. That's different, right? But you have never. That's Blake is a gentleman so far, right? We don't block people. That's very strange though. Now you're concerning me because people have mentioned that sometimes their comments don't show up. I did there is a shift from yesterday's live. I put that only people who have been uh actually it should open up the chat to more people. Like I put that you have to be a subscriber for 1 week to be able to comment. Normally I put 2 weeks, but I know we have more new people in the channel, new subscribers, so I open it up to 1 week. So again, um it's always has said subscribers only in the chat. I do that because like I think you should subscribe to be able to share, right? So Lynette says it said only subscribers for 1 year today. Oh, for 1 year? I'm retarded. I'm sorry. I thought I put 1 week. Oh my lord. I need to go change that. Thank you for letting me. No, are you serious for 1 year? How do I go change that? That's not good. So how did he bypass that then? For 1 year? Oh my god, I meant to put 1 week instead of my normal 2 weeks. I'm slow. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So sorry. 1 year, bro. That'd be like 2,000 subscribers or something. That's funny though. Damn, all of you in here have been subscribers for a year? And how did he bypass that then? If you're only for 1 decade, can you imagine? Nobody's here, just crickets. What I also find very strange is that Dylan was positive that she heard Kaylee, but then when the cops show up, she's like, "Well, I didn't know if Kaylee was home." The fuck? fuck? Okay. If there's one thing that I want to get across before I get off of the channel, because it's that time to go to work again, it's that the assailant or assailants knew the house. Okay. They knew the house like the back of their hands. Thank you, Jolie. It's not my birthday yet, but it's coming up in next month, right? Thank you. Um, they knew the people, they knew the victims, and they most definitely knew Murphy, and they need to be brought to justice. This whole thing is not right, right? Right? And we know that this entire case will look extremely different if only the FBI had handled this case from the get-go. But what did we see? After all of the documents were released, come to find out, uh, the FBI tried to get involved, and the police department said, "We don't want you here. We don't need you here." Makes you wonder why, right? And in my opinion, when I hear Murphy barking, it doesn't sound like this is an aggressive, protective bark that a lot of dogs would exhibit around strangers, right? It more sounds like this incessant bark, like, let me in, trying to get somebody's attention, which makes me believe that Murphy most definitely knew the people, the assailants at 1122 King Road. And we've even heard Kaylee's mom mention that if Murphy had been separated from Kaylee, he would most definitely be scratching at the doors and trying to get in, right? So to top it off, that house would smell. And if they had been unalived around 4 in the morning and then there was a call made around noon, that's 8 hours that 4 bodies were laying there. Nobody mentioned anything about the smell or about the temperature of the house. I'm no detective, right? But these things have to be documented very specifically, right? So, Blake, another $2. It's sad. It says I'm substance, so I cannot chat. Um, unless I'm sorry because I'm obviously an idiot. I'm so sorry, Blake. So I meant to normally I put normally I put that people can only comment if they have been subscribed to the channel for 2 weeks, and I meant to put it for 1 week, but apparently I'm an idiot and I put it for 1 year. And I can't change it right now because we're already live. So I'll fix that in the next live. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, but I do appreciate the super chats. Thank you so much. But you guys already know my take on this. I have said from the day that these horrible events unfolded that no unaliver in their right mind would leave a witness behind, especially one who can see and talk. And they had freaking eye contact. They made eye contact. So that told me everything I needed to know about the situation. That is and has always been my opinion. And anyone who disagrees, that's fine. It's okay. That's just my opinion, right? So thank you guys for joining me in today's live. I'm sorry. I will try not to make that mistake again. I'm sorry. I feel bad now because I know that a lot of you guys wanted to join the chat and I made a mistake. I was trying to open it up to more people and apparently I blocked a lot of people by accident. So and I can't fix it because we're currently live. So I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Blake. I'm so sorry. That being said, I do appreciate all the super chats. Thank you guys for joining me in today's live. Make sure you leave a comment in the comment section of the video, which helps promote this video to other people, right? So thank you guys and have a wonderful night. Take care. Leave your thoughts in the chat for me. Thank you guys.